I met Courtney sophomore year of high school. Immediately, she was the girl of my dreams. At first, we just hung out together. Then we started dating. Then we became best friends. We went everywhere together, did everything together. And even at that young age, I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. I wish I had known then how much loving her would hurt me. Fast forward to our high school graduation. Courtney was about to go off to college, and I was about to go off to boot camp in the Army. We knew we would be separated for a long time, and we knew the coming years would be difficult, but we loved each other. We promised each other we'd love each other forever. The weekend before I shipped out to basic, Courtney came to visit. She'd already moved to college, started classes, met people, and had fun. Our first day together was great. Just the two of us having fun like we always did. The night before I left, we cuddled on the couch and watched a movie. After she got up to go to the bathroom, her cell phone went off. We'd never had secrets before, so it wasn't a big deal that I picked up her phone and read the text message. "Have you dumped his ass yet?" Huh? Was the text about me? It had to be. Then the phone went off again. "Jason said he had fun with you last night." I knew Molly was Courtney's friend from college, but who the hell was Jason? What was it they had fun doing last night? The night before she came to see me. I felt like crushing the phone in my hand. I was furious. But I didn't want our last moments together to be a fight. We wouldn't be seeing each other for a while, and I didn't want her most recent memory to be of my screaming and angry face. Don't get me wrong, I did not like what was happening, but I tried to understand. We were young, our lives were going in different directions, but only temporarily. So what if she cheated on me with some guy while we were apart? We loved each other, and that love would keep us together. This Jason guy was just a fling, someone to pass the time with for a little while. Again, I didn't like it, but I tried to understand it. I put the phone back down. Courtney hopped back on the couch, and she must have seen my face or noticed something about me. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah," I lied. She kissed my cheek playfully. "Love you," she said, and then turned back to the movie. Fast forward a few years. I finished basic training, and Courtney finished school, and that Jason guy was long gone, just like I predicted. Courtney moved in with me, and I was stationed relatively close to our hometown. Not long after we moved in, we got married, just in front of a judge and with some friends as witnesses. She made friends, and I got along with my unit really well too. They had girlfriends and wives too, and we all got along really well. We were young, we were energetic, we had a little bit of money, lots of fun, and even more love. Really, life was great. Then I came home one day, and Courtney's friend Kayla was there. We chatted for a while and caught up. It was clear from Kayla's demeanor and look that she was not in a good place. Eventually, Kayla told us that she was homeless, that she needed a place to stay. I did not want her to stay with us, but my new wife asked me to let her, and I wanted to be a good husband, so I said yes. At first, things were tense, but things were fine. It's weird having another person live in your home. It's like your home is private, but not really. Like you have to make sure the bathroom door is all the way closed when you shower, or make polite conversation early in the morning when you just want to drink your coffee in silence. Time passed, and I grew more comfortable with Kayla, and we even flirted a little bit. It was harmless flirting. I have never and will never cheat on Courtney. But Kayla is really attractive. It was fun to flirt. But it just pissed Courtney off, and a few times she got mad at me. "It's not what you think," I would tell her. "We were just talking." "Well, it looks like what I think," Courtney would say. "You know damn well what you were doing. I don't like it, and you are going to stop it." Eventually, Kayla got a job and moved out. But Courtney's suspicion of me and Kayla never really went away. Fast forward another year. Courtney met me at the door when I came home. "Guess what?" she said. She grabbed my hands and I felt the excitement coming from her, like she's trying her hardest not to jump up and down and run around. "What?" I said. All that trying paid off. Her eyebrows went up, she smiled, she nodded. "I'm pregnant." She couldn't control herself anymore and jumped up and down. We were so happy. We picked out a name, our friends hosted a baby shower, we bought a crib and changing table, and we painted our guest room and made it the baby's room. But 10 weeks later, Courtney had a miscarriage. To say Courtney and I felt destroyed doesn't even start to describe it. I guess silent is how I would describe it. We didn't really want to talk to each other about it. If I felt like Courtney needed space, I gave her space. If it seemed like she needed me around, I stuck around. I did my best to gauge how she was feeling each day and react in the way I thought best. Slowly, she started hanging out with friends again, and soon she was going out most nights of the week. On the nights she stayed home, our evenings weren't as tense and stressed. Our life returned as much to normal as it could, or so I thought. Fast forward several months. Courtney came home one night from hanging out with friends. She looked serious, worried, and when I asked her, she said, "We need to talk." She sat me down at the kitchen table and said, "I'm pregnant again." I felt overjoyed. I stood up and cheered like I was watching my wife score a touchdown. "Albert," she grabbed my hand and pulled me back into my chair. "Albert, it might not be your baby." Trains can't hit as hard as that news. I felt like the air had been sucked out of me, sucked out of our kitchen. "Might not be yours." I knew right then and there she was saying that to lessen the blow, and what she really meant was, "Albert, it's definitely not your baby. I cheated on you." Fast forward a few weeks. I was living with my mother again, and one day Courtney called me. "I miss you," she said. "I miss you too," I said. "I'm sorry." She let the silence be there. "I want you back. I want you to move back home and for us to be together again." I knew I was a fool for agreeing to move back, but I was a fool in love. Moving back in with her didn't feel wrong. I felt at home in my home. Fast forward a few months. Courtney gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. Let me tell you, seeing a new child brought into this world, calling it your own, I just fell in love all over again. I knew the baby wasn't mine, and I knew Courtney and I had a lot to deal with still. But that feeling, that was the best feeling. And for a long time, that feeling kept me going. I passed 3 happy years raising a son and being with my wife. Things weren't perfect, of course. Courtney was diagnosed with a borderline personality disorder and was often depressed. We'd argue sometimes and she threatened to leave. She knew that whenever she needed to really hurt me, she'd say that our son wasn't mine. But our fights eventually calmed down and things were okay. Until one day, they weren't. Courtney was diagnosed with a BPD and was often unhappy. She left me, for real and for good. She moved in with a biological father. He is the biggest scum. He has already cheated on her several times, and I can only imagine the kinds of arguments they have. If she was as high-strung with me, a pretty laid-back guy, I can't imagine how high-strung she'd be with her baby daddy. Worst of all, I stepped down as the legal guardian to my son. As much as I loved him, I had to face the fact that he was not mine. I still talk with Courtney from time to time to check in on my son. Yes, I still call him my son even though I know he's not. To check in on how she's doing. To check in on an important part of my life. I love you, I tell her every time we end our conversations. I love you too, she always says back. I truly don't know where to go from here. But thanks to the love and support of my family, it makes everything just a bit more bearable. I still love Courtney, and I know she still loves me, even if we're not together, and even if we still hurt each other sometimes. I'm in therapy, and so is she. Like the Beatles song, it's getting better all the time. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I guess life always can have a new beginning, and we can choose where we want to go from here. When Courtney and I were in high school, we promised we'd love each other forever. And in our own way, we kept that promise.